India. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this program we take a look at the latest releases. Today we will take a look at the new Malayalam film Bougainvillea and the new animation film The Wild Robots. First, let's take a look at The Wild Robots. The Wild Robots, inspired by Peter Brown's 2016 novel of the same name, is a film that skillfully balances its emotional elements, resulting in a gratifying experience for both children and adults as well. While the notion of a robot experiencing emotions is not entirely original, it is a narrative and its execution that truly sets this film apart. Achieving the right emotional resonance, whether from a human or a robot, is crucial, and Chris Sanders has struck gold with this film. In the realm of animation, filmmakers have the freedom to explore imaginative concepts, including anthropomorphic animals and fantastical scenarios. The integration of advanced technology also allows for breathtaking visuals. However, the essence of a compelling film lies in its cohesive storyline, which Sanders and his team have effectively delivered. Although the premise of a robot nurturing an orphaned goose may initially sound implausible, the wild robot succeeds in evoking an emotional response. Sanders has described the film as a Monet painting in a Miyazaki forest. When your ambitions are so high, even if you succeed fractionally, you've still done a good job, and Sanders has definitely done better than that. The narrative begins with a robot named Rosam, voiced by Lupita Nyong'o, who self-assembles after being washed ashore on a deserted island as a part of a cargo shipment. Designed to assist and fulfill tasks assigned to its owners, Rosam finds herself alone on the island, accompanied by a variety of animals. She also has the capability to send a distress signal to her parent company to indicate her location. In her efforts to assist the local wildlife, she inadvertently causes panic amongst the animals, who flee in all directions, perceiving her as a monstrous figure. Among them is a fox named Fink, voiced by Pedro Pascal, with whom she ultimately forms a friendship. On the island, there is a grizzly bear named Thorn, voiced by Mark Hamill, a possum named Pinktail, voiced by Catherine O'Hara, and her young ones, as well as a beaver named Paddler. The scene depicting the animal's chaotic escape stretches long enough to instill a sense of uncertainty about whether this will be yet another typical animal film. Fortunately, the narrative takes a different turn. The commotion stops when Rosam, also known as Roz, accidentally crushes a nest, resulting in the demise of a family and their eggs, save for one. She nurtures it with great care. Upon the hatching of the goose, she names it Brightbill, voiced by Kit Connor, and tends to it as a mother would to her child. She diligently trains Brightbill to fulfill her task. She also gains insight into the jungle's laws and the predators that inhabit it, and that includes her friend Fink, who frequently expresses his desire to eat other animals. Transitioning from a perceived antagonist, Rose successfully unites the entire community while ensuring that Brightbill learns essential survival skills, and he is aided by an elderly goose named Longneck, voiced by Bill Nye. Every feel-good film typically features a villain, and in this case, it is another robot dispatched by the company to retrieve Rose and bring her back to the factory. Lupita Nyong'o's voice lends a unique depth to Rose's character. Though she is a robot, she exhibits a remarkable sensitivity. Even before the character develops feelings, the voice imbues her with a human-like quality despite her robotic demeanor. The relationship between the robot and the goose, portrayed as a mother-son bond, is handled with a delicate touch that resonates emotionally. The writing strikes a commendable balance, ensuring that moments of conflict are appropriately measured and they are not too excessive. Contrary to what the title might imply, the robot is not as unruly as one might expect. Rather, she is a softie. One cannot help but wish for a world that mirrors her sentiments. I'm going to go with 4 out of 5 stars for the new animation film, The Wild Robot. And now let's take a look at the new Malayalam film, Bougainvillea. Amal Neerad's Bougainvillea features an impressive cast including Kunchako Boban, Jyotirmai, and of course Fahad Fazil. However, the film ultimately flatters to deceive. Fahad Fazil is relegated to a tertiary role and probably did it to help out his friends or for a fat check, most probably the former. Pitched as a psychological thriller, the film becomes exasperating due to its screenplay and overall execution. For a film of this nature, a concise narrative is essential, along with an assumption that the audience possesses a degree of intelligence, an area where Bougainvillea falters. Neeraj's method involving showing, then explaining, and then repeating the show part once again for those who may not have grasped it is problematic. For example, the film repeatedly informs viewers about the kidnapping of 3 girls. Once the perpetrator is revealed, something that becomes evident well before the actual disclosure, there is little value in depicting all 3 kidnaps in flashback, as the method remains consistent and ultimately the whole thing becomes irrelevant. Adapted from Lajo Jose's book, the film begins with a compelling premise. A car accident occurs at night, leaving the couple with severe injuries. Years later, Ritu, played by Jyotirmayi, grapples with both retrograde and anterograde amnesia due to the incident, while her husband, Dr. Royce, played by Kunchako Boban, is a devoted caregiver. He attends to his clinic duties while she spends her time painting bougainvilleas at home. Occasionally, she reads works such as Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead or Ikigai, a book exploring the Japanese philosophy of a long and fulfilling life. Her memory becomes a source of confusion and he strives to support her throughout. Those familiar with the old classic film Gaslight, which was released back in 1944, they might anticipate the film's trajectory despite the presence of various subplots that are inserted here. A police team led by ACP David, played by Fahad Fazil, lands up at the couple's home concerning the kidnapping of a girl, accusing Ritu of involvement in the crime. The initial premise appears intriguing. A woman grappling with amnesia finds herself accused of a crime. However, the execution and the way the plot twists are revealed lack a sense of authenticity. The scene where 3 women assault a man serves as both cathartic and symbolic, yet the subsequent escalation of violence towards the film's conclusion feels disjointed from the overall narrative. The revelation in the climax prioritizes style over substance, employing slow motion sequences and overtly dramatic moments that seem to announce their significance rather than subtly guiding the audience through the story. In terms of cinematography, the film effectively utilizes techniques such as dolly zoom to illustrate Ritu's disorientation. On the performance front, Jyotirmayi successfully portrays her character's vulnerability, while Kunchako Boban consistently delivers a commendable performance. While there are some enjoyable moments, on the whole, Bougainvillea fails to hit the target. I'm going to go with 2.5 out of 5 stars for the new movie starring Fahad Fazil, Kunchako Boban and Jyotirmayi. Although Fahad Fazil fans will be disappointed because there is very little of him in the film. Well, that's what I thought of the films that were released this week. Do let us know what you think, and I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.